Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll show you a quick and easy way that you can paint your wooden terrain pieces. This will be a quick video, but if you want to watch something that's more long form, then check out my How to Paint the Sigmar the Head statue, which goes into a lot more detail about these techniques. But here's the piece we're going to paint today, and this is the wooden piece taken from that statue, and I'll show you some great techniques with contrast paints and dry brushing, and you can use those techniques to paint these steps as well. So this was primed with the Necrotic Flesh colour primer by Army Painter, and the first paint we're going to use is the Contrast Wildwood. Really important to give that a good shake. I'm using quite a large brush here, and it's nothing fancy, but it's certainly good enough to get some nice even strokes. The bristles are quite soft, and we can paint large sections quite quickly with this. And so I'm going over all the planks, and I'm going to use this brush as well to go over all the spikes and the other sections of wood. And then to get the more detailed parts, once I've blocked in most of the colour, we'll switch brushes. So I'll go from this large brush and switch it over for a Kolinsky synthetic number 2 size, and that's going to give us a lot more control, but it's still big enough to hold a decent amount of paint there, and so we can really work it into all those areas. Then once that's dried, I take some Wraithbone base paint, and this is going to touch up any areas where I made a mistake, where I got that wildwood on, say, some of the skeletons or the leather bindings. So I'm just going to clean those up a little bit. Then once that's dried, we're going to take some contrast Snakebite Leather paint and go over all the tips of the spikes. This is a great paint, works perfectly on top of this undercoat and gives us a real nice look for the wood. And then we're also going to use this on all the leather bindings as well. So a nice amount over there. Don't worry if this goes onto the wildwood too much, you don't have to be really neat. It all kind of blends in and works together. Then we're going to take Skeleton Horde, another contrast paint, and be quite generous with this. It dries quite pale, so really be generous with the areas like the eye sockets where you want it to be a lot darker with a lot more shade in there. So really push that paint in. Then we're going to take some Leadbelcher Base paint, and this is going to be our base for all the metal work on here. I'm just picking out these bindings that go around the 2 main legs of the piece. Then we're going to take some Mournfang Brown, another base paint. I'm going to work it into the bristles, get that paint off onto some cardboard and kitchen towel as much as I can, and then this is going to be for a dry brush technique. And I'm just showing you how I do it with a grey paint, but this is how I do it for the Mournfang, and this is going to go all over the wooden sections, so all over the sections we painted with that wildwood. And it's just going to break up that dark brown and give it a little red tint that's going to work really nicely with the greens we use in the other parts of the model. Then I take some Ushabti bone and do the same dry brush technique, but here I'm trying to pick out those raised areas a little bit more, just been a little bit rougher, and this is really going to bring out the texture that's included in the piece. And then again on the sides, and I go over all the spikes, and I'm trying to avoid the bindings, but it doesn't matter if you get a little bit on them. Then I take some Sky Grey, and this is the final dry brush technique. This is going to give it a more worn and aged look, and I try and go down the centre where I imagine the little models would be walking up and down the most and wearing that wood away. Then we're going to take some technical paint, some Typhus Corrosion, dirty up that metal, just dotting it on with a nice even coat. And then once that's dried, we'll take some Stormhost Silver and do a similar dry brush effect, but with a smaller brush, really getting those raised areas and the edges with a nice hit of that pale silver paint. And there we go, there's our finished piece, and it's all assembled with that Sigmar's head statue, and I'm really happy with how this technique works. It's really quick and easy and gets you some tabletop ready scenery in no time to a pretty decent standard, and when you put it with the miniatures, I think it looks great. But just putting those dry brush layers of different colours really gives that aged look, and that's going to fit in so well with miniatures like the Untamed Beast that you can see here. If you'd like to see how I painted the head statue, then I've done a separate video on that, so you can see that on the channel too. And if you wanted to see the more long form video that's almost in real time and goes into a lot more detail about the techniques, then I've got a video for that as well. But for all the paints we used in this video, I'll put links in the description below, and there'll be affiliate links to Element Games, but they won't cost you anything extra. In fact, you can save up to 20% there on all your game products, and for every sale made through a link, I get a small commission, and that helps me to do loads of videos like this, so thanks so much for that support, I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'll be great to see you there. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this gave you a little idea of how you can paint some quick wooden terrain using some basic techniques to get some nice finishes. But thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.